Hey, I'm Stu G and I'm here with Josh and I'm going to show 5 pedals that really shaped the sound of Delirious back in the day.
In 2015, we released the original Kilt pedal, a collaboration with Stu based off of a distortion pedal called the Expandora that he had used for years and years. And many of you may be huge fans of his tones with Delirious. We're gonna get a private tour through his favorite sounds that he used in that era. What is the solo on Investigate?
It's a FuzzProbe made by Zvex. It's a pedal based on the Fuzz Factory, as you know, but it has the probe element that Zvex put on.
Like a theremin.
It's kind of a theremin thing. It works on proximity to the copper plate there. Played through 2 or 3 different ones. They're all different.
Yeah, the Fuzz Factory is like you breathe on a knob and it sounds totally different.
Yeah.
And then across them, they're just, it's hard to get them all to be the same.
No, but I love it. I love the fact that they are a little bit idiosyncratic. You know, that you never really know what you're going to get. I like it to be open and wild so that there's more control on the plate.
So on the Access D album, that live solo, you could never repeat it, or could you ever replicate the solo?
You can replicate the notes, whether you get that exact sound. I don't know, because it like works on batteries. You know, that how do you know if it's getting the same voltage and all that kind of stuff? You know,
I mean, to me, that's the fun of most Zvex effects.
Yeah.
Even if you write the setting down.
Yeah.
You're not really sure. Where did you pick this up?
Yeah, so we were working with a producer called Chuck Zwicky. He actually lives in New York now, and he used to be an engineer at Prince's Paisley Park. He used to work for Prince, which is in Minneapolis, right? I think Zvex is up there.
Yep.
So this guy, Chuck, he designed the circuit for the Woolly Mammoth. That's his invention.
I know about this, I didn't put the name together.
Yeah, so the Woolly Mammoth is another Zvex pedal, which is also awesome. We were trying to get some tones that were kind of like Smashing Pumpkins. He had an Octane, which kind of had that octave fuzz thing up at the 12th fret and what have you. It's just an awesome fuzz, and I was kind of wanting one of them and couldn't get hold of one, but I could get hold of the FuzzProbe, and that's how I got it. So we spent hours in the studio working on Glow. You know, sometimes be messing around with it by hand, sometimes with my feet, you know, because obviously your shoes make a difference. Like, you get the most reaction out of it when it's just skin on the copper.
So there's like different tones with different shoes.
Yes, and also different guitars, different tone knobs, different volume knobs, you know, because just as it is. But if I start messing around with the volume control, so
it's oscillating.
Yeah, and like the impedance of the circuitry kind of like makes a difference to the tone.
We should make JHS tone shoes. Yeah? Different thicknesses of tone.
Yeah, for the thickness of the sole. So I love this pedal. I've got several Zvex pedals, but nothing is quite like the FuzzProbe.
I mean, I don't think there's anything in the whole room. I mean, it's such a bizarre pedal.
Yeah.
Like that whole theremin thing is genius. Zach is wildly in another lane all the time, and I love it.
Amazing. Yeah, so like we've spent quite a bit of time today just trying to dial that into sound like my one at home, and we kind of gave up.
Yeah, it's close. It does the thing, but it's close,
yeah. And it's not better or worse. It's just different.
Yeah.
The FuzzProbe is what I used on that and many, many songs since.
So we've obviously made the Kilt.
Yes.
We're at 9 years, 2 versions, still selling really strong. This whole thing starts with you somewhere buying a round, weird fuzz pedal. Like,
Yeah.
where were you?
Yeah. Do you know what? I want to say somewhere like Oklahoma.
Somewhere very uninteresting.
Like Tulsa or something. We were just trying some things out, you know, and they had tube screamers and they had this and that, and there were those little round, interesting looking things that kind of looked heavy metal.
I mean, the font looks like Fire Dragon Castle. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
And so these kind of hit America heavy in the 90s.
Yeah.
They were basically a Japanese design, a Japanese company. The first time I saw an Expandora was when I realized all the Bush records.
Okay.
I loved Bush, like 16 Stone, Razor Blade Suitcase. And it was like, oh, this is Expandora. But you didn't see a lot of people really playing them. And I just loved how you've always stuck to that sound. And it became such a unique piece of your tone.
It's not a transparent overdrive, right? And I loved that about it. You know, that was starting to become a thing. And I was like, actually, when I stomp on a pedal, I want to grunt and grind, you know? You've got the dip switches inside that change it from overdrive to distortion.
Yeah, which we just placed out here.
Yeah, so I would have one set up as fuzz and one set up as overdrive or distortion. I mean, in the studio, we'd kind of switch it around, but...
It's a very good overdrive, like light gain overdrive. That's something that the Kilt really shocks people. This circuit, someone might use like a Morning Glory or a full drive low or a Klon.
Yeah.
It does it really well.
Yeah.
I just love that people were like starting to mail order Klons and like transparent, and you're buying an Expandora and like turning it all the way up. It's really funny. There's so many sounds in the Kilt.
Yeah.
I mean, because the Expandora had so many, then we tweaked that so many. What are the main things that you like to do with it?
So this is without any of the gain switches engaged. Kind of is not a super overdrive, it's just got that first stage crunch thing going on. So
yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, it's shocking that it does that, because I actually didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And then when we started working on the Kilt, and I found myself playing at low gain, and I don't know why I had never done that. I guess because it's a fuzz pedal in my head.
Yes.
And I remember just being kind of floored. Like I had it in a Fender amp really loud.
Yeah.
And it kind of did a Morning Glory thing better than a Morning Glory. It was just a moment where I was like, wow, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
That it does low gain that well.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so I have it normally set up to be on gain 1.
Yeah.
And like pretty much it's kind of like set to noon on everything. So you can hear that stepped up a little bit, like back down there where we were. Just a little bit cleaner.
It's like a thicker, really good rat tone.
Yeah. And obviously you can wind the gain up or down to suit your taste, but I pretty much have it like that. But then I will switch the red remote on, which turns on gain 2 as well. So when gain 1 and 2 are on together, it's a fuzz. What we did with the probe on Investigate, you know, you can play
so
that.
Close. It's so similar.
You just don't have the madness, which is sometimes useful.
Yeah, you don't have the madness, but you have the fuzz that like very perfectly cuts off. It like drops off.
The other great feature for me, because every now and then I'll be using like a 4x12 with a Marshall head or something, or my third power amps actually have closed back cabinets.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little bit full, and so we just have a little low cut on there. It just takes a little bit of that low end out.
You know, certain stuff, you're not going to drastically hear it. Like if you're playing in Princeton, but then I had it plugged into like a big Sobtech stack, and it's like totally different sound. Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing the engineer's job for them in some ways.
Just cutting off the lows.
But I love it. I mean, it's been my main overdrive sound now for 30 years if you include the Expandora.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be the best pedal ever made. Ever. Like ever.
I love that. I love that you said that.
Shameless plug.
I knew that when we bought the Expandora, there was a photograph of Billy Gibbons.
Oh, that's
With one.
yeah.
Because he had it with ZZ Top, didn't he?
It's like Billy Gibbons on a stage with like some type of. They're like it's like 10 of them stacked on a pole. It's some gimmick. It's like ridiculous looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. ZZ Top.
Yeah, I love that pedal. I'm so grateful that we did that together.
Yeah, it's cool. The Talker is such a bizarre pedal. The FuzzProbe's unusual. Expandora Kilt thing, that's an unusual. All of your stuff's unusual, but the Talker.
It's the simple things that satisfy. Keep my feet on the ground, my head in the sky. I don't need one that I can say that I want you no more. All the choices I made.
DigiTech, we love them here. We do all kinds of stuff talking about. They're just geniuses. They always felt like ahead of the times with thoughts and ideas in digital. The DigiTech Talker, I have never seen anyone use it except the Daft Punk stuff. I own this for the like posterity of collecting DigiTech. I've actually never used it in real life. It's bizarre, and now they're like $1,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So how did you find this pedal? That'd be the first question. Oklahoma?
Well, the British equivalent, probably Chandler Guitars, which is where I used to go for everything. I don't even know why I got it. Honestly, I don't.
It's a weird pedal.
Yeah, I guess I didn't want to shake my fillings out, my teeth, you know, with the real thing. So
the talker aspect is historically it's a talk box, and this goes back to like Speedy West on a lap steel. You ever seen like old black and white country guy on a pedal steel, and he has the two.
Yeah,
it's really amazing, and then that like evolves, and then you think like Peter Frampton, and it's like the talking through an aquarium tube.
Yeah. Literal guitar volume going, amp volume going through your mouth.
It's crazy. It's like a really crazy invention. EHX had an old one, Golden Throat. They're very weird and very hard to use. And then this comes along in the 90s, and they're using this DSP technology and the tech to plug in a microphone instead of a tube. I don't know a lot about synthesizers, but I think it's getting into that thing of advanced vocal synthesis.
Yes, right.
It's more of a synthesizer at your feet than the tube.
Right.
Bliss is the new wah setting.
That's right.
Okay. Let's hear that one.
Yeah. So I have the Kilt on.
It's a little bit of a curse because you can never use the sound a second time, right?
That's right.
Is that like how it feels?
It does feel like that, and it's a huge pedal to carry around for one song.
It's like a giant pedal that's so obviously the whole song, and that's it. But it's amazing. Did you tour with this? I mean, you kept it on the board? Okay.
The other one that I use is this one with the microphone.
So the Nuvo.
Nuvo, yeah.
It's the simple things that satisfy.
That's cool. And then is there like a third sound you would go to, or is that pretty much?
They're the two sounds that I would typically use.
What's Alien?
Let's see.
Okay, a disgruntled.
He's kind of got like a rounded English accent.
You should have used it, yeah. Auto talk, that's an auto wah.
Yeah, no, it's so what it is, you can play the guitar. Sorry for shouting.
This is like the classic DigiTech thing that Nick was talking about, where it's like, I can do this. It's like there's always a motor 3 where you're like, that's cool.
Tasmania, I think that's Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah,
so
I would think so.
Yeah.
Tasmanian Devil.
It's like so great and pointless.
So that's why I only use those two.
Yeah, I honestly love it because I've never actually plugged a mic up to it. The pedal's like, thank you. It's like in Toy Story when the toys aren't getting played with. It's like been on the shelf for like 5 years, just staring at me every time I come in the room. You're welcome. You're welcome, Talker.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
XP-100.
Yes.
You were the first person I ever saw use this. Like,
okay.
On a stage. I remember seeing it and going, oh, because I had one. They were really affordable.
Yeah.
That was my first Whammy as well. So how did you stumble across it?
You know, I'd heard the bends and I wanted to do that octave thing. The shop that I went to didn't have an original Whammy. They had the XP-100 because they had a new one coming out. So I bought it straight away, and it actually became something that I didn't part with for a long, long time.
And it has way more than the Whammy, so you've just like used everything in this
device. So it obviously has 6 user presets, and it's got like 29 different algorithms, I guess you'd say. I use all 6 in the show, so I'll walk you through them. So the first one is that auto wah at the beginning of Heaven. Second is octave up.
Yeah, it's the classic. The glitch on that is so magical.
Yeah.
Like you can take in a newer octave pedal, and the ads are always like tracks perfectly.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I don't want to.
No, that's right. The octave up and the original, you know, it doesn't track loads of chords very well. You know, it's like single notes.
That's why I love it.
It's just a sound. So third setting there is the wah. So that wah, I would use it on History Maker. So that's that sound. That's the
just
exact
straight out of the
sound
box.
Yeah, straight out of the box.
It's awesome. So you have 3 more presets.
Yeah. So we got 4 is the one that I used on Heaven, which is the octave up as well as the original. So. Quite edge-like, really.
Yeah.
Then 5 is, this is like a double octave. So like, I've done a few solos where
the 2 steps.
Yeah. So very Tom Morello.
Yeah.
And then 6 is my favorite chorus sound.
Yes.
So
the secret chorus.
Yeah, this is the.
They call it D-tune.
Right.
But I've said this somewhere in the history of the show. I don't know. It's like one of the most underrated choruses ever is a Whammy doing the chorus.
I absolutely love it.
Because chorus is just pitching with clean signal. So this has a unique, weird way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should make a pedal that's just that sound. Why has no one done that?
I'd buy it.
That's weird. So you have the DL4 on, huge deal to you.
Yeah.
It's like a game changer.
Yeah, the DL4 was the first delay that I had that had the option of having 3 different settings on it, you know, so you could have the analog with mod and the tape delay or a low res or whatever you wanted. I also love the looper on there. The sound that we've been hearing so far is analog with mod without any mod. I have it, you know,
that's so funny. But I know why you're doing it, because it has a different sound than the analog.
I used to use that on pretty much every song.
And you never used a reverb, ever.
Never used a reverb. I
That's so wild.
I know. With the expression pedal, I'd increase the repeats and kind of have them fairly low. I never needed a reverb, honestly.
What?
You know how much I sacrificed?
So this pedal is 25 years old, right? Yeah, 99? Yeah. That's crazy. Does that make you feel old?
Yeah. So
I feel old.
yeah. So
Because I remember when it came out and I'm like staring at it in the music store like one day. It's so easy to forget how not normal it was. Like this was so groundbreaking to have this one unit this big.
Yeah.
And you could explore all of these types of delay and all the like tweeze adjustments and steer. Like right now it's like, well, yeah. It's like, you know, I let my kids hear Radiohead and they're like, yeah. But I'm like, you didn't hear it when it happened. It's that that thing. Yeah.
It is.
I remember my mom telling me the Beatles are awesome, and I was like, yeah, they're cool.
That's right. You know, the expression pedal kind of turns 3 presets into 6. I personally love it when you are hearing the delay times, you know, drop or come back up.
It's almost a whammy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I remember using a setting where it was like my fake octave pitch. I would do it every once in a while. Yeah. Do you have that set? So if I sweep this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
I mean, those repeats, you can make those repeats last forever, so yeah, it's beautiful. The other thing I really love about the Line6 is the looper. Obviously, you can't save it or anything like that. It's like what you get is what you get, right? Yeah. But what I love about it is that you can be, especially with ambient mode, when you're swelling in on the notes, it's replacing it, like every level is degrading. And so in about 3 minutes, you've got a whole brand new performance.
Yeah, I love just how you're sharing how you have used it so practically, and it's such crazy stuff for the time. It really did literally change guitar. Yeah. That pedal, there's so many things that like the looper alone is legendary.
Yeah, yeah, it's brilliant. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we are going to give a Kilt away and the red remote. Details are going to be in the description below.
Thanks for watching this. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit like, subscribe to the channel as well, and have a wonderful day.